Hello there. Well, the heat wave continues for some parts of the region, especially through parts of Cheshire. No heat wave for the Isle of Man and the north of the patch. We do have this area of cloud pushing northwards throughout the day, and temperatures very much will depend on how quickly that cloud passes northwards. Now, you can see odd showers on there. A lot of those won't reach the ground. If you do get them, though, some light drizzle potentially out of that, but largely staying dry, light winds, and top temperatures around 30 today. That's 86 Fahrenheit, but nearer 24 or 27 up to the north there. 24 is the mid-70s Fahrenheit, so actually still pretty pleasant and warm up there, just a little bit more comfortable than it will be further south. After we experience the peak temperatures of the day, there could be an odd sharp shower, a bit gusty there as well, and then mostly dry overnight tonight. Temperatures may be impacted by a touch of fog, which could develop across the patch too. Into tomorrow then, and we will see a decent amount of sunshine. Now, there is an area of cloud moving through the Irish Sea. That could just turn the Isle of Man a little bit misty from time to time, but elsewhere, a lot of sun and temperatures again pushing up towards 30 or locally a 31 Celsius through parts of Cheshire. Then we are definitely into the third day of the heat wave, so it's official. After that, maybe potentially some isolated thundery downpours overnight into Thursday. Hello there, hope your day is going well. The hot weather continues. We do have an area of cloud drifting northwards, and temperatures are dependent on how quickly that pushes away and clears behind it. But temperatures potentially could get up to 30 Celsius. That's 86 Fahrenheit to the south. Obviously not quite as hot across the Isle of Man and in the Lake District. So 24s, mid-70s, 27 is 81 in Fahrenheit. Light winds wherever you are. After we've reached the peak temperatures, that could just spark one or two isolated showers, but largely dry for the latter part of the day and overnight, and maybe some mist and fog patches forming in places. Quite misty across the Isle of Man tomorrow, sunny elsewhere. Bye-bye. And in the weather, the heat rumbles on, not just here, but also in Europe. All the details coming up shortly. Hello there, hope you've had a good day today. Lots of sunshine around, continuing for the next few days as well. We're also expecting one or two isolated showers in the forecast where low pressure systems try their luck against the high, but a lot of activity at higher levels, not all of it reaching the ground, and very little change for the next few days. In the meantime, the noticeable heat wave over Europe continues on, and there have been some red high temperature warnings for southwest of France. These values here all 12 degrees above where they should be for the time of year or thereabouts, so really very hot and intense. The heat moving eastwards now, but yesterday 80 weather stations across Europe recorded their hottest August day on record, and 58 weather stations recorded their hottest day ever in Europe. And we are tapping into this heat, and that's why we've still got another hot few days to come. So rewinding to the next few hours, you can see that after the higher temperatures of this afternoon, we've got one or two isolated showers there just sparking off, but overnight things tend to be clear and dry, maybe one or two mist patches in places. Actually, though, quite a good night for viewing Perseids meteor shower, which peaks tonight. However, there's still an almost full moon, and so very bright out there, not optimal viewing. You might not find that you can see them too easily. Into Wednesday, the sun's up at 5:45 in the morning, and it's going to be a fine bright start to the day. Any mist melts away. However, quite murky through the Irish Sea here, so it'll be pretty misty across the Isle of Man through Wednesday. Elsewhere, fine temperatures climbing in the sunshine up to 30-31 Celsius, 30-86 Fahrenheit. There is the isolated risk of a thundery shower later in the afternoon. That's a bit of a watch point for us, and overnight into Thursday. Bye-bye. Hello there, I hope you're enjoying your evening. The hot weather rumbles on over the next few days. There may be one or two isolated showers in the mix, but a lot of activity at higher levels, so not all of those showers reaching the ground, even though it may look like it on our graphics, and little change as we move forward. So taking a closer look at the next few hours, you can see skies largely clear overnight. It's a good night for viewing Perseids meteor showers, which peak tonight. However, it's an almost full moon, don't forget, so still very bright out there, maybe not optimal viewing conditions. Into tomorrow then, the sun's up about 5:45 in the morning, sets at 8:45 in the evening, and it's a bright, fine, sunny day for most of us. There could be a little spot of mist forming overnight. That burns away for many of us. However, some murkiness moving through the Irish Sea, so rather misty across the Isle of Man tomorrow. Temperatures again, 30-31 Celsius like today, 30s 86 Fahrenheit, so still very hot, especially through parts of Cheshire. A little bit more comfortable for the Isle of Man and the Lake District, with light winds, a little bit breezier through the Irish Sea. There is a watch point for us on Wednesday afternoon and overnight into Thursday of maybe potentially one or two isolated thundery showers. Bye-bye.